Today's world, tensions in the Middle East have reached a point where conflicts are no longer just about weapons or economics. They are now crossing into the boundaries of belief, identity, and moral values. Recent statements from political figures have shocked the international community. One controversial remark suggested that no force, not even divine power, could stop Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. Such statements reveal a deep sense of frustration and helplessness among certain political circles in the Arab world. Today, Arab nations appear divided. On one side, there is strong public anger. On the other, there are governments balancing strategic interests, especially due to concerns about Iran's growing influence. Netanyahu has skillfully used this fear to present himself as a necessary force in the region. Meanwhile, Turkey has taken a different stance. Turkish leadership has openly criticized Israel's policies, arguing that ongoing aggression is driven not by security concerns, but by expansionist goals. According to Turkish officials, as long as this mindset continues, instability in the region will not end. At the same time, Iran has made it clear that it will not back down. Iranian leadership has warned that any aggression will be met with strong retaliation. This has turned the conflict into a high-stakes standoff involving multiple regional and global powers. But what is even more surprising is the growing division among Western allies. The United States, under Donald Trump's leadership, has found itself increasingly isolated. Traditionally strong allies in Europe are now openly disagreeing with Washington's approach. France, Spain, and Italy have taken unprecedented steps by restricting the use of their airspace and military bases for U.S. operations related to the conflict. France's decision, in particular, has been seen as a major diplomatic blow. President Emmanuel Macron appears concerned that a large-scale war in the Middle East could have devastating consequences for Europe's economy and security. Donald Trump, however, has reacted strongly. He has described such actions not just as political disagreements, but as acts of betrayal. His statements suggest that the U.S. may reconsider its future relationships with these allies. In fact, Trump has gone even further, warning that countries refusing to support U.S. operations should be prepared to defend themselves. He has made it clear that America will no longer act as a free security provider for its allies. The U.S. Defense Department has also echoed a more strategic and firm tone. Officials have stated that future actions will be guided strictly by American national interests rather than alliance obligations. At the same time, there appears to be a contradiction in Trump's own statements. While earlier he issued strong threats against Iran, including possible military escalation, he has recently softened his tone, claiming that regime change in Iran was never his goal. He now says the primary objective was to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, and according to him, that objective has been achieved. This sudden shift has raised questions globally. Critics argue that such inconsistent messaging creates confusion and undermines credibility. Meanwhile, on the ground, the conflict continues to intensify. Missile strikes, drone attacks, and air raids have been reported across multiple regions. Israeli cities have faced incoming missiles, causing damage and injuries. In response, Israeli and U.S. forces have targeted strategic sites inside Iran, including military facilities and infrastructure. Reports indicate that key cities and industrial areas have been hit, leading to massive explosions and disruptions. The conflict has also expanded beyond just Israel and Iran. Groups like Hezbollah have launched repeated attacks, opening additional fronts and increasing the risk of a wider regional war. Footage circulating online even shows soldiers preparing for deployment, saying goodbye to their families, an indication that the situation could escalate further. But beyond the battlefield, another major question arises. Who will pay for this war? The financial cost is staggering. Within just 1 month, expenses have crossed tens of billions of dollars. Daily costs alone are estimated to exceed $1 billion. The Pentagon has reportedly requested an additional $200 billion from Congress to sustain operations and replenish military stockpiles. However, the American public is not fully on board. Protests have emerged, with citizens questioning why they should bear the financial burden of another overseas conflict. Many believe that the costs will eventually fall on taxpayers, leading to economic strain at home. Despite this, Trump appears confident. Analysts suggest that his strategy may involve shifting much of the financial burden onto Arab nations, who have a vested interest in limiting Iran's influence. But this approach is not guaranteed to succeed. Arab countries may provide support, but they are unlikely to cover the full cost unless there is a clear and decisive outcome. No nation wants to invest heavily in a conflict with uncertain results. And so far, Iran has shown resilience. Despite heavy bombardment, its military infrastructure, including missile systems, drones, and underground facilities, remains largely intact. Even advanced bunker-buster bombs have failed to completely eliminate these capabilities. After weeks of conflict, Iran continues not only to defend itself, but also to maintain its regional influence. This raises serious doubts about whether military force alone can achieve the desired objectives. In the end, this conflict is no longer just a regional issue. It has become a complex global crisis involving military, economic, and political dimensions. The future remains uncertain. Will there be a diplomatic breakthrough? Or will the conflict continue to escalate into something even larger? One thing is clear: the situation is far from over. Stay tuned for further updates as events continue to unfold. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest developments. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.